What is going on, everyone? And as the immortal Ron Burgundy said, that escalated quickly. So we all knew that this was going to happen at some point. We just, quite honestly, didn't think it was going to happen this quickly on this set. And for those of you who aren't aware, Spider-Man collector booster boxes, they released and they went completely through the moon. And I'm going to click back and forth here a couple times, but they pre-released, pre sale or sold in May, 550. Then they went up to 750. Then we have the Final Fantasy Mania. They got all the way up to just under $1,000. And then spoilers came out and went down to mid 50s, mid 850s. And then we found out that with no serialized cards, the set was complete garbage, quote unquote. I'm being facetious. And now the boxes are at $689. Now, we haven't gotten to the point yet where there is a full-on dump that is going to come next Friday when these open up to everybody. But there've only been 1,900 boxes sold, which is pretty bad. Check something real quick. Okay, good. But getting back to the point at hand, Amazon dumped Spider-Man collector boxes today for the first time in a while. And they were dumping them for a couple hours. Now, the limit per order was 4, and I had a couple of people tell me that there was an account limit for 4 of 4. I've never seen an account limit on anything with Amazon, so I don't know if that's factually correct or not. But after doing some research, it turns out that the bot community is a little spooked by Spider-Man. And what I mean is when you're paying $455 at MSRP for a lot of these, and you're paying tax on top, so figure 6%, so call it 24, call it $30 on top. So now you're in this for $490 ish, maybe a little bit less. Now you have fees if you sell, you have shipping. There are folks that are canceling their orders en masse because they are afraid that they're going to get stuck with a massive multi-$10,000 bill, if not more, on a product that there's no demand for and it's plummeting. And what that's done is that's caused a massive influx of Spider-Man collector boosters into the market. And this is, I want to talk through the pros and the cons because I don't really have an opinion on it. I'm just here kind of presenting the situation. But I think on one side of the coin, the reason why these boxes were so expensive in the first place is they're just completely unobtainable to the normal person. Our allocation of Spider-Man collector boxes, it was a fraction of what we got for Edge of Eternities and less than half of what we got for Final Fantasy. And our spend is double what it was when the allocations for Final Fantasy came out. So we've gotten not a whole lot of Spider-Man. Look, we have triple digits of collector boxes. I won't give you guys magnitude, but it's not like we're a tiny store where, we went from getting 5 to getting 2. We know that a lot of these came through Amazon, they came through Walmart, and they were bought into high hell because again, everybody thought they were going to be serialized cards. It was going to be a banger like Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy is obviously 1,200 and change per box. Soon to go higher because money from Spider-Man is going to leave and go elsewhere, and I'm guessing it's probably going to go there at some point. But these boxes went to the nosebleeds for quite honestly no reason other than just pure speculation. Now, the situation that we have is the first time in a couple sets in either Pokemon or Magic where the botters now can't move the product, or there's at least fear that they won't be able to move the product. Now, we saw this to some extent with Journey Together, but not that much. I mean, the set dumped a little bit, spooked some folks, but it held reasonably strong. Now, booster bundles aren't exactly selling like hotcakes, but folks aren't underwater with that set. With Spider-Man, there's some real fear that people are going to get stuck and not be able to clear $500, $490, $515, depending on where they sell them. So we've had this significant influx of new product into the market that's now effectively being distributed to folks who want to consume the product, not people that are buying the product to flip the product. So it's akin to what we've seen with the collector boxes, and I'll show you guys right here. So we saw the prices dump, then all of a sudden we've seen a massive pickup in volume. A couple hundred selling a day across this in eBay. Now things have slowed down here, but it's also Wednesday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are much slower days than the weekends for all these sales platforms. But it's no different than you're effectively taking a product out of folks' hands that have no interest in holding it. They're just going to flip it and putting it in the hands of folks that want to own the product. They want to consume the product. They think it's good value. They're not looking to flip it right away, because why would you buy something that somebody's looking to flip it right away selling? And that, in my opinion, creates a very solid floor to how far these products can fall. Now, distribution price on these is anywhere between $290 and $310, depending on how many order, depending on your distributor. So even at $455, there's good margin. But again, the folks that are looking to flip this, their break-even point's like $5.25 if they're selling it on TCG Player. So I don't see it going much lower than that. It's probably going to go below where we're at right now, just until the dump of product from LGS is just trying to make 5 cents on a product, dump their product, and then it's going to move back up. But I think from the perspective of midterm performance on the product, this rotation of folks who are looking to scalp the product to folks who are looking to consume and hold the product because they think it's good value, is quite healthy for the longer term outlook of this product. Now, I mean, look, folks may run up a $25,000 credit card bill and they have to move it. Now, that is certainly means to panic. But at $455 plus tax, it's really difficult to get hurt if you're able to hold for the long term. I mean, it is a good entry. Let me rephrase this. It's a great entry point based on where we are in the market right now. It is a fair entry point, generally speaking, in the history of Commander decks collector boxes when it comes to Universes Beyond. So we'll see what happened. But I just wanted to mention that because it was thousands of them that got dumped today. And it rotated out of folks who were just looking for a quick buck to folks that are looking for a deal, and they think that the MSRP price for these is quite good. So it's going to be interesting. And again, I would expect a dump of these products through at least next weekend, most likely. The 25th, I think, is when TCG Player unlocks for sellers. eBay's a little bit of a better view because it is not exclusive to certain sellers. But we'll see. It's going to be super interesting because this is the first time. It's first time really the first time, quite honestly, where the price of a product has declined to the point where the significant amount of scalper, botter, whatever you want to call it, whatever negative connotation term, somebody who intends to buy the product to resell, has gotten to the point where that is no longer feasible, or it's feasible, but the perception of that group is it may not be feasible if they hold the orders. And now it's kind of shit or get off the pot because you either have to cancel or you have to take delivery. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments, because this is really going to be interesting how this plays out. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and we'll talk tomorrow.